All right. Grand Day is Shay seeking. And again, I had to take a break from something real quick from what we were doing and come back into the book of Matthew. Because I was in the book of Numbers and I was reading something, which again, we're going to read after this, about the restitution is to be made in trespasses, the trial of jealousy. Okay. So again, I was reading something about this. I was going in the book of Ruth. I'm just seeing too many things that need to be addressed. So again, we're just going to go ahead and go in because, again, we're going back into that energy of Ashura of America, right? We're going back into just knowing thyself, right? Not needing anyone to really justify. See, because when we're talking about Mother Earth or Gaia or the Earth in general, the Earth, I just feel like it has more to do with natural law. It has more to do with it is what it is, and that a lot of this stuff in this text is to blot out or blot away that particular way and bring in, the things that would have happened or would have been put on us again by in a religious or so-called lawful aspects after the colonization of the Americas. So again, when I'm standing in the fact that I know who I am. Again, I'm not a servant to anyone, but source, right? And in that sense, not even a servant to source, because I look at it more as Asherah being in that energy or wisdom, okay, or the Ruach. I look at that as being standing as one with, okay. So again, having free reign, regardless of who came upon the land, especially when we're talking about the Americas after that. So again, I think that, again, this gift has been bestowed upon some of us, some of us, to be able to state these things. Now, I'm not saying that a woman, has to, well, I really, I look at Elizabeth, she ruled on her own, but, in a sense, I look at it as, yes, it's okay with joining, but when we're talking about Asherah, something happened. It makes me think about Lilith, where there was a jealousy again, and could she help this jealousy with this particular god, Yah? Okay, could she help this jealousy? Is this something that she did, or is this something that he let happen, or is it, you know what I'm saying? Because then we have to go back to the whole protecting of the woman, right? And I know that, again, when we go back to things that are natural, that a piece of paper is not going to be able to justify who should be a servant and who should be defiled and be mistreated in a sense, because we're talking about bloodlines, heraldry, empresses, we're talking about this, right? So I think that all of that stuff is being disregarded and disrespected in this day. And again, I just want to speak on it because I'm reading through the text and I'm seeing these things, and it just makes me very uncomfortable because, again, I've been, given the sight to see and experience certain things on this plane today that I feel like, I don't know what's going on, but something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? So again, it just is what it is, and we just gonna have to go ahead and go through it. Okay. So again, we're seeing here, and it's about just like really being able to discern and see what we're talking about in this word. Okay. And again, it has to do with idol worship. So like, again, in my sense, that is a thing that forms not a jealousy, but it kind of, some of these things kind of contradict themselves. And when I see it as, when it comes to idols, I know that in certain places here, certain things that were gifted or honored or bestowed upon certain people, these people were not the original people. These were idols that were put in the place of the original people, because again, we already know that the original people ain't gonna be given a god dang on thing nowhere in the history of colonization, even now. Do you see what I'm saying? So again, they're not going to just give or gift anything to the originals. They're going to make sure that they put someone in place that works for them. And this is what's going on again. And again, we're going to just go into a couple things. I just got to be running my mouth today because I've just been given the eyes to see a couple of things. So again, and we're talking about bringing the sword. You see that she's sitting here, her breast is exposed, first of all. Again, so we're going back to me even thinking about how we're talking about like Newt and Geb, and it just even like when we go back into those types of storylines about her being like a mother goddess, or even we can look at it like a cow or something like this when it comes to Hathor and feeding, right? But then again, I feel like in a sense, some of these beings will still smite the woman even after her nourishing and giving birth. Again, that's the same thing. The originating women birthed this nation. And again, see how they're treated even to this day. So again, something is wrong. Something is wrong. And idols, again, have been placed in the place thereof. And that's just it. Call it, however you want to see it, okay? So it says, and seeing the, so again, this is chapter 5 in Matthew. And it says, and seeing the crowds, he went up to the mountain. And when he was seated, his disciples came to him, and opening his mouth, he taught them, saying, blessed are the poor in spirit. Okay, so again, I'm just thinking like in the spirit. And what, and what else? But then again, it's a sense of, blessed also means smeared with blood. So again, is this the blood of Christ? You know what I'm saying? And this is a sense of protection, or is this, to a sense where it's like something that's under our nose, and actually it means that they were slew or, hewn down or cut down, you know what I'm saying, or cut, because that word has been showing up a lot lately. Even when it says, I think when we were in Jeremiah yesterday and said, how long will you cut yourself, right? So again, people are going to look at it as when a woman wants to stand up and speak some truth, they're going to look at it as, oh, she needs to be disciplined, or she's out of line, or she's loud or obnoxious, or this is, you know what I'm saying? So again, I'm ready to already, that's what I've been dealing with the whole time. I've been being smite the whole time. I feel like there's a couple of good energies that have been around, you know what I'm saying, that I'm thankful for. We're talking about honoring the ancestors and the guides and angels. And again, when we're talking about these soulmates or twin flames, some of them may be good for you, and some of them are coming back here for, again, some type of payback, or there's some kind of karma or something attached to it, is what I'm feeling. So again, you have to just be careful, because it can look one way, and it may be another way. And so again, the whole thing has been confusing to me, but I know one thing. I see this blindfold on her eyes. And what we're going to be talking about over here in Numbers is them talking about remove the thing from her eyes. So, or from her head, the cloth from her head. And so again, now she can kind of see or whatever. And, it just makes me think about that whole blinding thing, like an aspect of keeping her blind, or like I told you, when it comes to Sekhmet, they gave her some kind of something to kind of put her in a daze. Right. And so again, like I've been feeling like this whole time, and this is just me just speaking to y'all all the way from the heart, is that there has been some kind of something where there was like something cut off. Now, we really know that we don't know much about, the technology and things that they have these days. We don't know much about even certain things that could be, that they may have used back then to create some form of a blockage, right? Again, we have ancient technology. It's just, again, now is the time to just have all these types of questions, and, just be okay with questioning everything, and also looking at it in various ways, from ancient times and ancient technology until now. So again, this blindfold on her eyes, and I feel like, this morning I woke up and I was kind of like, I want to say maybe emotional, because I felt like, this whole judgment thing, where I feel like, rather, and I just don't know if it has anything to do with this prick, if it has something to do with some of these towers that are being put up. I just don't know. But I feel like they needed to keep us blinded still, or distracted for a certain amount of time, to try to get some measures or something laid, right? And so again, the ones that are high priestess, the ones that are the true empresses, the ones, they're going to be treated differently. They're going to be subjugated to certain things. They're going to be possibly cut off or treated as like an island, And again, this is not me complaining, because again, I simply enjoy my alone time. But then to wake up today and feel this sense of something where what has been done, I think, is wrong, because throughout that time I've been given like little incentives and downloads of things that made me feel kind of uncomfortable, that I know that I'm not participating in. Certain things that I've caught myself like even refraining from, any type of intercourse, when it comes to people or any type of, for a while. And it's just like, I'm trying to keep myself pure. I'm trying to keep myself in a fashion. But, it just seems like some energies around want me to make me think that somebody has been defied. And, so it kind of puts you in a kind of like a funk. And like a woman, you're going to feel some kind of way. You're going to feel some kind of way, especially somebody like me that's bold and fiery, somebody that's going to stand their ground, somebody that all this stuff was hitting all at one time, and you don't have nowhere to turn, and I still stand my damn ground. And so again, I'm just not the one to just conform or become a servant for anyone. Again, I can be your partner. I can be your, again, I see value in myself regardless of what people think. So again, I know who I am. And I'm standing strong in who the hell I am. So again, at the end of the day, that just can't be me. You could draw up all the documents. You could try to send whatever you want to send towards me. It just ain't going to happen. I didn't come here for that. I didn't come here to fit into society's way or their social construct. I came here to create a new one, to manifest something else. So again, at the end of the day, that doesn't work for me. But to me, it feels like someone wants to set this up so that they can also defile these women, because again, when doing so, you will be able to strip them from royalties, strip them from positions, strip them from things that are originally naturally supposed to be in their hands. So again, I just want to be even of your your dignity, your strength, because again, we are the conductors. You see what I'm saying? They wouldn't have anything. So again, to keep us blinded and then be energy vampires and suck from us and want us to give, something just don't seem right about that, right? And so again, throughout this journey, I've noticed certain energies that want to give back or want to show love in a sense, right? But then, and then it's like a confusing time as to like, okay, wait a minute, is this a guide? Is this an ancestor? You know what I'm saying? What is this? Is this a twin flame energy? You know what I'm saying? What am I feeling? So again, to keep it confused and keep you blinded and keep you dazed, it's kind of like a daze kind of thing. So you really can't see. And so I think I was really upset this morning, feeling like, I'm feeling like I don't like it. It's uncomfortable. I feel like everybody has some type of view, you know what I'm saying, in on me, whether it's a telepathic, whether this is, this is something that, again, it's hard to explain. I don't even hear many people talking about it, so it's kind of strange even to me. So again, to just be able to tell my portion or my side of the story, it's just like, I don't know, like I don't want to have to, but I feel like in a sense, everybody already know. I feel like everybody can already see, like I feel like I live in a glass house, right? And I feel like even while I'm speaking what I'm speaking, it sounds and makes sense to me, and it should make sense to a lot of people, that there's always some rocks coming towards the house, right? Somebody's always throwing stones toward the house to try to tear it down, maybe tear down walls or something. Like, it's even making me thinking about the chapters that's talking about tearing down the temples of Asherah. So, for me, it's hard, because standing in that energy, you're going to be a number one direct person that's going to be hit by these people of the world to try to defile you before a certain time, before the return, right? So again, how I look at it, that's what I've been doing. I've been holding my ground. But again, something wants me to think, oh no, that's not the case, or put these kind of ideas in your head. And again, we're living in a day and age where you don't know what the hell somebody can be doing to you in a subconscious manner, or again, in your sleep. You don't know what could be going on. You don't know what, you know what I'm saying? We really don't, have a full understanding. At least I don't. So I feel like it's kind of like even an abusive kind of nature, like an undermining kind of thing. And so, but I've been given eyes to see in a certain way and to strip away that. And so that's what we're going to do today, just in case there's some other women out there that may have felt this way, right? And it may be the love of another energy that is coming in and saying, hey, I'm here to heal, not hurt, right? Because I've been under a lot of hurtful, I feel, and turbulent energy, right? and still trying to stand my ground, keep my focus, keep my balance, and keep a smile on my face, and keep a positive way of thinking, and just also, like, I know a lot of people don't, think being alone or whatever is a problem. But again, I completely enjoy and adore my alone time, as I do. People may look at it one way, but again, it takes a lot of energy. So again, me sitting here right now in this sunroom is recharging. And again, it seems like I do this every day for at least a couple of hours. And if I can do that, then why don't I? See, because again, I'm telling you to keep us busy and keep us, and this may not work for everybody. And so I'm not knocking anything like that. But I'm just saying, if it works for me, somebody put me in this position so that I would be able to be this way, so that I can be able to be a conductor of this type of energy. And again, me being distracted and looking on other things, I just feel like I'm on this thing right now where, okay, either if you for me, you for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if someone or something comes into my life and it is nourishing and I care, that doesn't stop just because I'm working on myself. See, but nobody wants you to work on yourself. When you're working on yourself, you're selfish. When you speak about yourself, there's the ego, all these things. And again, I don't deal with that. I see it for what it is, and I don't deal with that. I am who I am, either you like it or you don't. And I know that, again, I am awesome in my eyes. Again, so it really doesn't matter. Things can hurt, right? Because if somebody's throwing rocks your way and they hit you with it, you gonna feel that. You gonna feel it, right? But at the end of the day, it's if you let that sit with you, after I let it resonate for a second, if I let it sit with me and change me in any way, shape, fashion, or form, then that's a problem. But again, everything has been a lesson. Everything has been a lesson. So I've been looking at it like that. But I'm thinking like, damn, are you sitting here like a fool talking about everything been a lesson and a so-called blessing, right? And actually it was just all kind of just, abuse or whatever. And then it's just like heal. But, nobody sees the inner workings. No one sees. And again, everybody is different. So everybody's going to get a different level or a different taste of this particular type of medicine. And I don't even call it medicine. Well, modern day medicine, because it's not there to heal you. It's just to keep you sick for a longer time. But anyways, we can go ahead and keep on moving. So again, right here, chapter 5, the Beatitude. Okay. Now, it says, and seeing the crowd, he went up the mountain, and when he was seated, his disciples came to him. Now, again, we can use this either way. Like I said, when I'm reading the text, I'm looking at it and I'm examining the whole verse, the whole chapter, to see what's here. When we're talking about him, because they're going to use that more than anything. The only time they talk about her is when they want to try to defame or defile the name of a feminine energy. But again, when I'm looking at these things, I'm looking at what the energy is telling me. Are we really talking about a male here? Or are we talking about a feminine energy? Or are we talking about an androgynous energy? Again, there's nothing wrong with any of the three. I'm just stating that this is what I get when I'm reading this text. So it says, and opening his mouth, he taught them, saying, blessed are the poor in spirit. Oh, no. Did I let it die? I hope not. Okay. Okay, in spirit. For theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Okay. So again, this made me think about this is making me think, because I'm just reading it right now. This is making me think about the whole thing that I feel like this infrastructure is trying to flip the script on us. You know what I'm saying? And that's just why I brought that video out, because it's just wondering, like, what are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? I know we're in Matthew, but again, that is the New Testament toward the end of the text. So I'm just wondering. So again, the kingdom of heaven. So again, I'm thinking, is this like when we're talking about this particular heaven, are we talking about like a full form of ascension? Or are we talking about the heaven of this realm? Okay, this worldly realm. Because again, we're dealing a lot in spirit, in soul, and I mean soul as SOUL and SOL as well. Okay, and also being the sons, which can also just mean descendants of well, I would just like to say maybe those in Christ consciousness, right? Okay. And again, my whole thing is, can you still be in that that mindset, but also have certain things being put in perspective, or to keep you blinded in a sense, right? Because I feel like there's just been such a difference, because again, it mainly is distraction and wanting to cause fear. So fear didn't work for me, but distraction in a pleasurable or exciting way of thinking about the world and seeing the world differently and examining the thoughts and feelings and emotions and all the things that I've been going through. Something like that, me being someone that, I don't know, maybe I like psychology or something. Maybe I'm just someone that likes to think about that type of stuff. And it kind of amazes me to think how people think in like these new things that are happening. So again, that's just what it makes me think of. And it says, blessed are the meek, for they shall possess the earth. Okay, so again, the kingdom of heaven is theirs, the poor in spirit. Wait, blessed are the poor in spirit. But like, if you have a poor spirit, like, what does that really mean? You know what I'm saying? For theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So that just sounds strange. Poor in spirit. Shouldn't you be not poor in spirit? I don't know. Tell me what y'all think. And that's the thing, poor in spirit, and it makes me think about that whole thing of holding on to worldly possessions and worldly ways and things like this. And this is what it just makes me think about, because those are going to be the people that inherit the heaven. And I'm not saying anything negative about it. We're just dissecting it to see what it's really talking about. That's it. Yeah. Because again, if we think about it toward the ending of all this whole thing, was it people that were poor in spirit that were ruling the heavens? And again, the heavens could be, yes, in this construct or this infrastructure. The construct, right? But it also the construct, and that how it has been, those things that have been embedded in the mind are the things that actually, you see, build nations, okay? So again, when we're talking about the meek, the gentle of temper, okay? Blessed are the meek, for they shall possess the earth, okay? The forbearing. And again, for also like your forehead, that, or before, right? So something that would be even before, right? So again, your forebearers, or whatever, how we would even say it. So under injury or annoyance, humble, assuming, of woman, okay? So again, of woman could mean, well, we know that, all children are of a woman. But again, I'm saying, because it's funny, because we're going to start talking about any man that, I think it was like any man that looks at a woman lustfully or something like that. So, and then there was another verse about woman that I feel has to do with, again, if you break down woman in etymology, we'll find out that it means a group of people, men, women, children, whoever. That would be, again, those that would be servants or commoners, peasants, and servants in my eyes. So again, that could be people that had been taken into as prisoners of war when people came here. And that can also mean people that were brought here for servitude, a form of servitude from different places. And that's to go with anywhere in the so-called world. But we're just talking about America because that's where we're at. Okay? And then it speaks about Old Norse, humility, Dutch, but it says slippery or slimy, docile, okay, humble in spirit and manner, suggested retiring mildness, or even cowed submissiveness. Again, here we go talking about this mouse again. Okay. It says evidencing, I don't know, but that's what it says, a little spirit or courage, overly submissive or compliant, a fine fiery blast against meek Orville Prescott. She looked meek, but had the heart of a lion. Okay. But then again, it says a synonym. Okay. Well, anyways, that was the adjective. Okay. In WordNet. So again, and I would say that some of us, again, well, I would just say for me, I feel like that's the energy that I have. A lot of people look at me as though I'm this way or whatever, but I can go ahead and get all the way there real quick. So, you know what I'm saying? It's, and then, people want to say, oh, well, this is how the person is or whatever. But no, you could take me there. You could take me there real quick. So I practice not going there, but we can go. So that's just how it is, right? So again, they shall possess the earth. And then even when we're talking about possess, take hold or occupy. Okay. So again, when I'm looking at this, it's not really stating that you have to have a nationality or a status or anything of this nature. It's just talking about the nature of the person, the works or the ways of the person. So at the end of the day, for somebody like me, I just see it this way. I see it this way, that this is just something that is natural, okay? Probably even naturally supposed to take place. It says, blessed are they who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Okay, so again, we're going to have some people in certain times that are going to be mourning or sad or, whatever. And blessed are those who hunger and thirst for justice. Again, that's kind of like that thirst. That's that blood thirst. I'm telling you, that got something to do with Sekhmet. And again, this woman right here that's here on this platform. Wait, is that a serpent under her foot? I think so. And look how she's standing on and got the sword underneath it. It's almost like to a point where, like, if you do good and if you refrain from things, of course we all get tempted. Jesus was, or Yeshua or whatever, Christ was tempted for a long time. And so, well, it wasn't that long, but it wasn't just like tempted once. It was like for a span of time, the 40 days or whatever, right? And again, he went up on the mount, okay? Or she, Again, I look at it as someone in that consciousness, but is there a ringleader? Possibly, right? Because I feel like it's a breaking off of that energy from one being that was sent, and then passing it on however you want to look at it in different forms or fashion and particles, just however you want to look at it to others, okay? Portions or whatever. So again, hunger for thirst for justice, for they shall be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the clean of heart, for they shall see God. Okay? And again, this is what I'm saying. So again, if you feeling like, and this, when it comes to a feminine aspect and you want to be pleasing to a God, you know what I'm saying? Or Elohim in a sense. Again, if you grew up in a religious way, or if you just believe in nature and the source or all, or something that is outside of you that nourishes you in spirit and soul, okay, or in your ways. So again, to see of this, and that's why I always talk about like a pure heart. That's like the main thing right now. And again, if we're filling it with, if we're thinking we're doing something wrong all the time, that causes fear. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I think we have misconstrued a lot of things that are supposedly sins, but are really not. And so again, it makes you feel like you're unworthy, and it makes you not want to work as hard. But again, to keep a pure heart is just the only thing that I feel like, it's really important. And again, I was listening to one of my soul siblings last night, and she was saying the same thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just forget everything else. Tell people to focus on their heart, And again, I've been having a lot of, like I had to deal a lot with the heart chakra. Just even, like I said, waking up in the middle of the night with a sensation in my chest around my heart, even thinking maybe, dang, is there something wrong with my heart? But, I don't even want to go get it checked out because I ain't even trying to be like around them people. So, it's just like, I just was kind of trying to pick up on what was being said. What was source trying to say to me? Okay. So it says, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. Okay. And it says, blessed are they who suffer persecution for justice. Okay. And again, there is a sense of like when all this stuff was happening, was I under persecution? Was I under some kind of modern day jail? Like trapped in a, I want to say like a box or in some kind of cage or something. I'm even just thinking like a bird, in a cage. This is the feeling that I feel like it has been, like I said, in a glass cage, maybe even. For justice sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Okay. Blessed are you when men reproach you, okay, and persecute you and speaking falsely, okay. And again, I have a huge, like, I don't know what it is about my sensors or my senses lately, but I just everything has been coming to light. Like big, something been going on. You've been knowing it's there, right? But you can't put your finger all the way on it. And you just can't really grasp what the hell it really is. But there is something there. Somebody is speaking falsely about, and I'm just thinking, why? But then there's an energy saying, oh, ignore people, don't get mad, don't talk about. Well, again, so again, in my eyes, again, I feel like I've already been cast out or set aside. So again, then I have to have faith that kind of justice is going to eventually come from something that's out of my control, from a higher source, right? But at the time, it feels like, hold on, I have to say something, because I'm not about to let these people just, keep on defiling my name, keep coming for me, keep on, doing me wrong, smacking. And I'm just thinking like, okay, so you think like when it says if somebody smacked you, turn the cheek or whatever. Well, there's certain groups. There's certain things that I can agree with that, right? If it comes to, if you want to say the Father, like you're dealing with the God of your people, or, your Father. Because again, it says in here, not this God, but that, or not that Father, but the Lord your God, or thy Father, So again, it's kind of breaking it down in a sense and specifying deities, I would say. Again, because I feel like we are different species. We may all look the same, but there is something slightly different about us. When we talk about Elohim, I think that the creation story, there's more than one creation story. That's not thinking, there is. And again, who knows, right? But I think that right now we're falling into those particular groups by the way we see, the way we think, whatever. I think we're falling into line with who our so-called creators are. And it says, so again, that frustrated me, and that had me very upset this morning. Like I was in a rage. I kept it within, but I was in a rage. Like, hold on. So somebody been keeping me cut off, but letting people, and I'm just thinking like, no, this has to be like something on like a large scale. This has to be something even from youth, and then that's why I'm so happy to hear some of my soul siblings, even if they, and this is why I'm saying anybody that is open and I feel is honest, again, because I can read people about the thing, even if it's something that I may have to listen to, so that I can kind of take in and repent or change my ways, or constructive criticism in a sense. So I take it all in, they were saying something like, yeah, since you was a baby, this and that or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I'm not the only one seeing it this way. So again, for me, I'm just thinking like, damn, have everybody else been, separated? But I'm going into this field now and finding other people, whether they are healers or spiritual people or seers and stuff like that, or readers. And I'm seeing that, other people are speaking openly about this stuff. I just been around the wrong people, I guess. So again, it feels kind of good. Okay. So again, I had to just simmer down just a little bit, because I think I was just so livid. I had not been just that mad. And then just seeing, that some of this stuff I think is on a worldly scale, where it's not just, that natural something that's happening, right, amongst the people with this whole ascension or this whole grasping of things. But there were some extra additives to it. and it bothered me because I feel like it was something that was actually not meant to bless me, but to try to hinder me. Okay. And so again, that is how that felt. Okay. But then again, and I tell this story, again, people don't want you talking about yourself, but I don't know how people vlog then, and people sit there and watch these videos of people, doing whatever. Just call YouTube. But again, for me and for others like me, I feel like maybe we're just always going to feel like whatever we do is wrong. Whatever you do is just going to be wrong. It could be all the way right, and it just there's an energy there that wants you to make you think that is wrong, to try to change your perception or narrative of self, I think. And if they can break you down, then that's just it. And I think that's what we're going to talk about right here. So it says, rejoice and exult, because your reward is great in heaven. And again, this whole time it's kind of been like, Source and the ancestors been like, man, we got something else for you. Just be cool. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing what you're doing, but go ahead and stay in your lane to a certain extent. Be good. And then, there's something for you. But again, I tell you, this negative energy that comes around sometimes wants me to feel like, well, you ruined that. Oh, you messed up. Dang, you didn't do this right. You didn't do that right. Oh, man, look, I got you. And it's just like, damn, leave me alone. Let me do me. Let me be me. Let me do what I came here to do, And so that's just what it feels like, okay? So it says, rejoice and exult because your reward is great in heaven. For so did they persecute the prophets who were before you. Okay. And again, so this makes me think about, like I told you guys, that whole thing that I thought felt like some kind of initiation, in a sense, like it was a warming kind of feeling of like an embracing kind of feeling that I had when I realized that I hadn't been given enough thanks to the ancestors and guides. And I had to take a moment of silence. And again, now that's been like a week, maybe a little bit more than a week since that happened. And I've been trying to just honor them by sitting and listening. But again, I'm feeling like I need to learn ways where I can really, practice giving thanks. It's always on my mind. At least once a day I'm thinking. But again, to take actually that time out to do so. Okay. And it says that disciples compared to salt and light. Okay, because then the salt of the earth also has something to do with the I would say like the substance or substance of a being. Let's see. Experienced sailor. Again, this is making me think about old souls. Salt was long regarded as having power to repel spirits and magical evil. Again, so like it has been a sense of like, okay, they're saying all that stuff, but you protect it. You protect it. Don't worry. Stand. Okay, and it had been hard sometimes when I felt like something was right on me, or when this whole thing was new to me. I kind of went like, what the heck? But again, after some time, I'm like, man, nothing happened. People keep on saying this stuff or whatever. This energy keep on coming around trying to make me feel this way, and nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? But then I did start feeling like lately I've been having insomnia. And I'm thinking, okay, something is like you need your sleep, but then there's something else saying stay up. Stay up. Excuse me. And so again, it's just like, and then at different times of night, waking up at various times of night. And I'm just thinking like, what is it? I want to be able to get a grasp on all these things, right? So again, let's see, of dark and light color, dark and light colored wools woven. Okay. Let's see. Cold War, Salt Now, Cold War, USSR, nuclear weapons, negotiations, 1968. And I know in the book about in the video that I did about the serpent on the staff, Nicodemus, I think it has something to do with. We talked about the salt of the earth in depth on there. So again, I won't do it here. Preserve. Okay, so again, replacing hydrogen and okay, all right, because I could do it all day. but we ain't gonna do that. Okay. So again, so it says, you are the salt of the earth. Okay. But if the salt loses its strength, what shall it be salted with? It is no longer of any use but to be thrown out and trodden underfoot by men. So again, I'm feeling like even I'm even thinking about like even a sense of servitude and women, being used as vessels, earthen vessels, right? Okay, to carry seed, or in times the semen of the semen that we're coming to seed the earth. The earthen vessels is you. The waters are the semen. And so, at some point in time when they're done, and again, I feel like that now we can go somewhere with this, because I'm thinking we talking about this. I'll just say this, make reference to Jupiter ascending. And we'll talk about reproductive systems and reproduction. Okay? In cattle or chattel, right? Let's just keep it right there, and you should be able to see what I'm saying. So again, they should be trodden underfoot by men. So again, this is a time for, again, once I feel like you hit a certain time, a prime time in your life, that again, this can be what we're talking about. Or once you hit, it's even making me think about the story about Egypt in the biblical text, when they are saying to the people who are getting too populous, go ahead and kill the firstborn. And, deeply and all the way down to the root, I'm telling you, I know this has something to do with our menstrual. There's debate whether people used to have it or not. And I just wonder, again, with this whole reset and collapse that just happened, I'm just wondering if, and then this prick, I'm just wondering if this is a whole thing. Because I'm just looking like, what is, but again, it may be something that is of God's or of the Elohim. You see? Because I think something wears out, and every once in a while, every some odd 100-something years or whatever, they have to come and tend to the sheep. And so it's looked at on this level in this world as something else. But again, it's going deeper off into something else that we don't have to all the way explain here. Again, because people are going to be at different levels of seeing this. But again, just what I'm just saying. That's just a slight, just a dash of something that I just threw there. And again, either you see it or you don't. Okay? So again, it makes you have to think about, missing people and stuff like that. And again, is this something that is generally something that we are actually reading in this text? We just not understanding that we're reading in this text, and it's been done on purpose and by design, that you don't really know, because again, the religious institutions have failed us regardless. I didn't say the Bible, I didn't say the word, and I didn't say Elohim or a God, right? I would not like to say that. But what I'm saying is religious institutions and education systems, the way that they have been constructed in order to keep us in a docile, in a certain mindset. And that's just it. And again, the awakening that happened was just the bust out of that. And then when we had to sit in the house for all that time, it was just to go deeper into that. And then now we're, things are opening back up now, since there's the majority of people have so-called been dealt with. Okay. And again, we all know that what was we really talking about? Was this really a demic? You know what I'm saying? Or was it just a way that this is how it goes? See? Because we know that a lot of this stuff was ridiculous. But again, people lost their lives. And again, we know we don't have to go back all in and all that. But it feels like everybody forgot about all that. So this is what tripped me out. This is what really trips me out. So again, it must be something that's meant to happen. So on this channel, I'm not trying to give you any kind of idea. We're just weighing the options on both. See the scale? That's what we're doing. Now, is there going to be a good outcome or a bad outcome? I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer. I'm just saying. I just question everything. All right? So again, if I have been reading this text like this from birth, or not from birth, but you know what I'm saying, from a young age, then I may be able to see things differently now. But no, it was by design that you really didn't know. You just was looking at it on the surface, and we didn't go any deeper. So that's the lack of knowledge that we were perishing or perished from. And again, my thing is to say, so it doesn't happen again. But again, does it even, why am I even talking? It feels like nobody listening. But then again, it feels like so many people are listening, but the numbers on my videos don't say that. The numbers on my videos say 1 view. So it's either, you've been set apart for something better. You've been set apart because somebody doesn't want your particular way to be spread, or you've been set apart for some kind of evaluation as some kind of experiment or something. It's just my way of looking at it. It says, you are the light of the world. A city, again, and this city represents, I feel, a person, a vessel, or a group. Okay? Yeah, we can use town, condition, membership in a community, a state, a citizen, community of citizens, a bed, couch, beloved, dear, a secondary sense of beloved or dear. So yeah, a city, okay? A city can actually be talking about one of us or something like this. And again, it's going to be one of the pillars, one of the, I don't know. Whenever we're talking about mountains and stuff like that, I know we're talking about these mighty ones, giants in those days, possibly. Resident, inhabitant of a place, okay? Again, these are just some of the ways that a large and densely populated urban area may include several independent administrative districts. So again, do I see that there is going to be a setting up of the nations by source? Yes. Do I feel like there's other energies and entities included too, and that we can go the wrong way if we are not seeing? Yes. So that's what makes me feel bad about the fact that I know I've been blinded. Now, if this is something that I have faith, I have to have faith and think that source is going to take care of me. But I'm just the type of person that don't like to go all the way into something blindfolded and grasp onto it and say, this is what's for me. I like to be able to examine it. Everybody should, just because we know the story or his story, whatever you want to call it. For somebody like me, it's not even like really trust. Like people act like these kind of things is a problem. No, like you don't just go ahead and sign no contract without really reading it. Well, some people do. When it comes to, certain stakes, you're not going to go ahead and just start digging, be blindfolded and start digging into bowls or something on the table and just start slapping stuff in your mouth. You're going to stop. You're going to feel it. You're going to smell it. You know what I'm saying? So you have to examine things. And again, that's the kind of person I am. And I hate to be offensive to people when I'm asking these questions or when I say, no, this don't look right. What that mean? Tell me this. Tell me that. Then people like, damn, you don't trust me? But again, no, I just need to know what it mean. It ain't got nothing to do with you. See? So again, that's just the type of person I am, and that can come off as offensive, or if you're fear or you got trust or daddy issues, and you know what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, that's just me. I'm somebody that examines things, okay, as much as possible, right? Thinking and contemplating, okay, because again, we have to remember that so-called Satan was able to put his raise up his whatever at the heights of God or whatever. So again, that's just very tricky. When you think about that, it's like, hold on. Even though it's whatever way you want to look at it. You got to take the good with the bad. God created good and evil. One of these creators said that that's what they did. They could have just not created evil, but that's not the case, okay? And it's almost even giving me a Lilith kind of feeling, because I feel like she was the first black water, meaning, and she was the first, or someone like her, or that energy was the first to be populated or colonized or seeded, right? And so, I forgot where I was going with that, but just to think of it in that instance where maybe she felt bad about that. But then again, because once then she did that, her new children, see, and this is how we got ran by the youth. It's not talking about babies when they say babes were, in charge or whatever. I think we're talking about younger groups or races or nations or whatever on that particular land. So again, loving and loving, loving, and then having your child then come, and cut you off. Even I was thinking about that when it came to something that was in the man, what is it? I ain't been in it in a long time. Oh, not the Bible, not the Quran. Where we read Thunder, Nag Hammadi, the Nag Hammadi, okay, about how the son took the power from the mother, and I guess cut her off or cut her down or hewn her down, and so again, you are the light of the world. A city set on a mountain cannot be hidden. Okay, so it's also reminding me of Israel cannot be moved. Or that the Lord promised not to destroy it all the way. Okay, so it says, neither do men light a lamp and put it under the measure, but upon the lampstand, so as to give light to all in the house. Even so, let your light shine before men, in order that they may see your good work and give glory to your Father in heaven. Okay, so again, this is making me think still. I told you that movie with Eddie Murphy in it, when he had those people or that person or whatever in his head, because again, and I really think that that's what is happening. I mean, it's a symbolic for, okay, the connection that's happening with the sun or with source. Okay. But again, I try to keep my feet grounded and in the soil at least once a day so that I can also connect with her. And again, my daughter's been sleeping late lately, so I get kind of frustrated, I notice, because I used to just wake up every other day, go to the park, take a whole little hike through, I wouldn't call it a real hike, a real steep walk, through the park or the forest or whatever. And it's just soothing for me. It was very healing for me. But, I haven't been able to make it that much because, again, she's been sleeping later. And then, I haven't been able to get down, which is kind of upsetting. But anyways, it says the old law and the new. So again, it says, do not think that I have come to destroy the law of the prophets. I have not come to destroy, but to fulfill. Now, again, this reminds me of, because again, certain times in this journey, I feel like, again, yes, some of us have had a direct connection to what they are saying is God, which would be source or your higher self connected to something, again, outside of yourself. We'll just say that, something outside of yourself, whether that's just other people or however you look at it and when you think about what God would be. And because I know, I feel like there's a techie God. I feel like there's ancient alien gods. I feel like there's a, God, a goddess, the earth, it's just a way. But again, in natural law is just it, but okay. But again, I have not come to destroy, but to fulfill. Okay, so again, I do feel like we're in this energy right now, regardless of who's going to be up in that house. There are certain things that are going on that are unseen, that are on a larger scale. It's just something different. Something has shifted when it comes to that energy, when it comes to the governing forces. And again, we have to just see what it really is. Is that sense of the living God within the people, and we're supposed to be doing something? Or are we supposed to be still sitting up there letting people make these choices behind closed doors and bringing them to us? Are we supposed to be negotiating these things? Yes, we are. I feel it. I know that somebody's watching. Whether they're taking into consideration everything that we say, I don't know. We just have to be paying attention so we can block or whatever it is that comes. So it says, for amen, I say to you, till heaven and earth pass away, not one jot or one tittle shall be lost from the law till all things have been accomplished. And I don't know why I'm thinking that this is around this time soon. I don't know why I think that, I'm not saying that that's a fact. Therefore, whoever does away with one of these least commandments and so teaches men shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever carries them out and teaches them, he shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I say to you that unless your justice exceeds that of the scribes and Pharisees, you shall not enter the kingdom of heaven. So again, this is making me think about the portion of the caste system that is talking about the priest and the scholars, I think, something like that. And again, is this something that we have to conform? So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes I get a sense of, okay, you went too far. You went too far. I know you think you be seeing, but you went too far. You know what I'm saying? That's between just me and you took it there. So again, and sometimes I don't know when to stop or that censor because I just want to give it all, just if I feel it's the truth, I just want to just be open when I'm coming with my information. I want it to be like you there with me. We feeling it. We seeing it. We putting it out there together and we questioning and pondering together with like an open way, a non-biased, just open-hearted way of looking at it. So you have heard that it was said to the ancients, thou shalt not kill, and that whoever shall kill shall be liable to judgment. And again, I'm thinking, yes, we're talking about probably kill literally, but again, I feel like we're talking about kill when it comes to cutting people off with the pen being mightier than the sword. This is from any kind of inheritance. This is from any kind of land, from any kind of wealth, from any kind of anything that is supposed to be due to those, is what I feel like this is talking about. But I say to you that everyone who is angry with his brother shall be liable to judgment. And again, so that's that whole thing with a pure heart. Because I'm telling you right now, I done been through some things. And I've been calm and collected more than I have hit 100, okay? But at the end of the day, I had to take that in, sit with it for a second, and then just recomp. And I think people be looking at some of us that be like that, like, dang, ain't they supposed to still be mad? But I just can't. I just can't. I want to be somebody say, oh, if somebody burned me, and I just can't, And again, I know how to keep my distance. I know how to kind of shut down for a minute and maybe just I need my space. But again, I know how to remember what you did, and that's probably going to be reminded of it, again. But it won't affect the way that I'll treat you or be there for you when you need me. And that's just how I am. Okay? So it says, and again, but is this some other way of being submissive and controlled by another energy? Because again, we all know that some of us, again, at this time are possibly being taken advantage of. And some of us are losing out on things right now because, again, we're not 100% aware of, right? Everything that we should be doing right now when it comes to getting our stuff in order. So again, I feel like a lot of people are missing out on things because the history repeats itself. It happened then and it's going to be happening again now. And whosoever says to his brother Raka shall be liable to the Sanhedrin. And whoever says thou fool shall be liable to the fire of Gehenna. And again, shall be liable to the fire of Gehenna. Therefore, if thou art offering thy gift at the altar, and their remembrance that thy brother has anything against thee, okay? So hold on, let me read that again. And there rememberest that thy brother hath anything against thee. I don't know. Leave thy gift before the altar and go first to be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift. Come on terms with thy opponent quickly, while thou art with him on the way, lest thy opponent deliver thee to the judge, and the judge to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. Amen, I say to thee, thou wilt not come out from it until thou have paid that last penny. Okay. And then it says here, we're going to go ahead and stop there. And then we'll come back for the shorter. Oh, no, it's not that much. No, it is because, yeah, we'll just stop.